Senator John McCain is on the warpath. This time he's trying to pick a fight with Russia over Montenegro, a tiny corrupt country that really isn't worth going to war over. That is, unless you're trying to protect billionaires and crooked politicians. But how we got to this point is a little bit of a complex story. You see, Montenegro is this small country over in the Adriatic Sea. They have less than 2,000 active military members. But it's a key cog in a possible proxy war with Russia. Senator McCain says that Montenegro joining NATO could stabilize the region and protect from Russian aggression, whereas Russia sees Montenegro as a vital port that's convenient to their operations in Syria. Evidence even points to Russia behind a failed false flag assassination attempt on Montenegro's Western-friendly leader, Milo Djukanovic. Of course, now McCain wants to free Montenegro from that awful Russian influence. But Djukanovic is widely thought to be one of the more corrupt leaders in the world. He served as either prime minister or president of Montenegro for the better part of 30 years. And he has ties to organized crime and smuggling rings, and he's even used public funds to grant loans in shady business deals. And those loans are never going to get repaid. So meanwhile, Djukanovic, he's used the state-run media also to silence whistleblowers and cover up terrible human rights violations. So it's this guy's crooked ways that make McCain's obsession with Montenegro a really murky affair. In 2006, Montenegro looked to gain independence from socialist Serbia. Russia backed this idea so they could more easily control the port there. Russian investors flooded the region, buying real estate and building all sorts of factories, all at the Kremlin's request. Of course, McCain rallied against these efforts because he saw them as nothing more than a Russian power grab. But strangely, Montenegro's independence campaign enlisted an odd ally, McCain's campaign manager, Rick Davis. Davis's lobbying firm was paid millions of dollars by Putin-friendly business owners like aluminum baron Oleg Deripaska to help with the independence movement. Other wealthy people with interests in moving Montenegro away from socialist control, like Canadian billionaire Peter Monk and the British bankers the Rothschilds, they all put a ton of cash into the independence campaign because they had major financial interests in Montenegro. Most of those deals, though, of course, were backed by this crooked guy, Djukanovic. So with massive financial influence, the expertise of McCain's campaign manager, and Russian backing, Montenegro won their independence from Serbia. So that begs the question, with McCain's reputation for being so anti-Russia, why would his closest advisor work so vigorously for Russian interests? Theories ran wild, whether it was McCain being complicit in the Kremlin's plans to free Montenegro, or Davis simply being a hired gun in an attempt to get closer to McCain, or McCain just simply being so clueless to all of it and still promoting Russian interests on the side. But the story doesn't end there. In 2006, McCain met with Deripaska aboard his mega yacht. So to be so anti-Russian and having dinner and drinks with Russia's favorite billionaire, that raised a lot of questions. Then 2 years later, McCain, when he was running for the White House, had a lavish fundraiser thrown for him by the Rothschilds in London. This, of course, despite the Rothschilds mostly identifying with the Democratic Party in the US. So now as Montenegro looks westward in their effort to join NATO, McCain is once again at the center. He's condemning Russia at every turn, pushing for this tiny nation Montenegro to be a key part in these already chilly relations with Russia. So supporting this corrupt nation along the Adriatic has no real purpose other than to protect these billionaires and anger the Kremlin. So, you have to ask, who stands to profit the most in all of this? Well, first of all, McCain has made no secret of his plans to drastically increase military spending. His tough talk on Russia has helped him boost his argument for larger defense contracts. In 2016, McCain took in over $400,000 from defense lobbyists. Montenegro joining NATO will simply lead to more Russian aggression in the region, which will in turn trigger the West to stand up to Russia. So McCain is getting his wish for a new Cold War. Secondly, investors like the Rothschild family are looking to protect their investments in this tiny country. So turning Montenegro to the Western interests simply lets them sleep easier at night. You can be assured that they've expressed those concerns to Senator McCain. They even hired his friend and threw fundraisers to make sure McCain was in their pocket So now they're simply cashing in on their favors. Those with major business interests in Montenegro used Russia's influence to tear the state away from Serbia. Then, when it benefited them more, these billionaires flipped to bring the small country towards Western ideals. This time buying support from the US and buying support from McCain. McCain saw a perfect opportunity to line his pockets and strengthen his ties with massive business interests around the world. Whether it's a defense contractor here in the US or British bankers overseas, McCain has hedged his bets and looks to benefit once again from the affairs of this tiny corrupt country, Montenegro, on the Adriatic.